This activity is a screencast innovative method for the subject Logic Design and Computer Organization. The group leader is Saloni Thete. The group members are Pooja Vinsu, Sakshi Thete, and Prajakta Wankhede. Thank you.
Hello friends, I'm Pooja Vinsu and I will tell you about digital logic families and characteristics of digital integrated circuit, that is digital ICs. First, we will see logic family. Logic families indicates the type of logic circuit used in ICs. A circuit configuration or arrangement of circuit elements in a special manner will result in a particular logic family. The set of digital ICs belonging to the same logic family are electrically compatible with each other. This is digital IC. Now we will see the characteristics of digital ICs. There are various characteristics of digital ICs to measure their performance. First, speed of operation. The speed of digital circuit is specified in terms of propagation delay time. If the propagation delay time is lower, the speed of IC is higher. Second, power dissipation. Power dissipation is measure of power consumed by the gate when fully driven by all its inputs. This is the amount of power dissipated in an ICs. Third, figure of merit. The figure of merit of digital IC is defined as the product of speed and power. The speed is specified in terms of propagation delay time, expressed in nanosecond. Figure of merit is equal to propagation delay. It is specified in picojoules. A low value of speed power product is desirable. Fourth, fan out. Fan out is the number of similar gates which can be driven by a gate. High fan out is advantageous because it reduces the need for additional drivers to drive more gates. Fifth, current and voltage parameters. In this, first is high level input voltage. This is the minimum input voltage which is recognized by the gate as logic 1, and another one is low level input voltage. This is the maximum input voltage which is recognized by the gate as logic 0. 6. Noise immunity. Stray electric and magnetic fields may induce unwanted voltages known as noise on the connecting wires between logic circuit. The circuit ability to tolerate noise signals is referred to as the noise immunity, a quantitative measure of which is called as noise margin. 7. Operating temperature range. The temperature range by which a IC function properly must be known. The accepted temperature ranges are 0 to 70 degrees Celsius for consumer and industrial application and minus 55 degrees Celsius to 125 degrees Celsius. 8. Power supply requirements. The supply voltage and the amount of power required by an IC are important characteristics required to choose the proper power supply. 9. Flexibility available. Various flexibilities are available in different ICs logic families, and these must be considered while selecting a logic family for a particular job. Some of the flexibilities are: first, the breadth of the series; second, popularity of the series; third, availability of complement outputs; and fourth, type of output. Thanks.
What is TTL? Today we will learn what is TTL, characteristics of TTL, and the operations of TTL NAND gate. Now, TTL stands for transistor-transistor logic. It is a logic family built from bipolar junction transistors. TTL integrated circuits, that is TTL ICs, are widely used in applications such as computers, industrial controls, test equipment and instrumentation, consumer electronics, and synthesizers. The picture shown here is of a TTL IC. Now, what are the characteristics of TTL? The characteristics are speed, fan in, fan out, noise immunity, and power dissipation. The picture shown here is of a standard TTL NAND gate. And in the next slide, we will learn the operations of this TTL NAND gate. Okay, so as we saw in the previous picture, the operations of a TTL NAND gate are as follows. The totem pole output implies that the transistor T4 sits atop T3 in order to give low output impedance. The low output impedance means a short time constant RC, therefore the output can change rapidly from one state to the other. T1 is a multiple type emitter transistor. Such transistor can be thought of like a combination of various transistors along with a common collector and base. Multiple emitter transistors along with 60 emitters have been developed. Now, in the figure shown in the previous slide, T1 has three emitters. Thus, there can be three inputs like A, B, and C. The transistor T2 functions as a phase splitter since the emitter voltage is out of phase along with the collector voltage. The transistors T3 and T4 by the totem pole output. The capacitance CL shows the stray capacitance and so on. Now the diode D is added to make sure that the T4 is cut off while the output is low. The voltage drop of diode D remains the base emitter junction of T4 reverse biased. Therefore, only T3 conducts while the output is low. Now, the operation can be described briefly by the three conditions. So, the next slide shows a brief description of the operation of TTL NAND gate. Okay, so the conditions are: condition 1, at least one input is low, that is 0. Transistor T1 saturates. Thus, the base voltage of T2 is almost 0. T2 is cut off and forces T3 also to cut off. T4 functions as an emitter follower and couples a high voltage to load. And the output is high, that is Y is equal to 1. Now the condition 2 is that when each input is high, the emitter base junctions of T1 are reverse biased. The collector base junction of T1 is forward biased. Therefore, T1 is in reverse active mode. The collector current of T1 flows in reverse direction. Because this current is flowing in the base of T2, the transistors T2 and T3 saturate and then the output Y comes out to be low. Now the condition 3 is the circuit is operating under second while one of the inputs becomes low. Now the consequent emitter base junction of T1 starts conducting and T1 base voltage drops to a low value. Thus the T1 is in forward active mode. The high collector current of T1 shifts the stored charge in T2 and T3 and hence the T2 and T3 go to cutoff and the T1 saturates and then the output Y returns to its high value. Thank
Hello everyone, I am Sakshi Tete from second year. Here we are presenting screencast innovative teaching method in this semester for logic design and computer organization subject. Today my topic is CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor. What is meant by CMOS? CMOS is a complementary metal oxide semiconductor, also known as complementary symmetry metal oxide semiconductor. COS/MOS is a type of metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, that is MOSFET fabrication process that use complementary and symmetrical pair of p-type and n-type MOSFETs for logic function. In CMOS technology, both n-type and p-type transistors are used to design the logic function. Here are some important characteristics of standard CMOS. CMOS devices are high noise immunity. CMOS devices are low static power consumption. And third, since one transistor of the MOSFET pair is always off, the series combination draws significant power only momentarily, wherein switching between off and on states. And next, we are discussing the operations of CMOS NAND gate. Here we are giving the figure of CMOS NAND gate. Here input A, input B, here is the output, and the NAND gate using CMOS. CMOS is the combination of PMOS and NMOS. The circuit shows the realization of CMOS NAND gate, which consists of two PMOS and two NMOS gates. If any of the output is low, that means 0 volt, corresponding PMOS will be shorted and NMOS will open. The Vout is shorted to VDD, which provides high output. If either input A or input B is logically 0, here input A or input B is logically 0, then at least one of the NMOS transistor will be off, breaking the path from VDD to ground. From here to here, the path is breaking when if either input A or input B is logically 0. This is from this topic. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I am Prajakta Wankere and my topic is comparison between TTL and CMOS. First we'll see what is TTL. TTL means transistor logic. It is logic family built from bipolar junction transistor. Its name signifies that transistor perform both the logic function, the first transistor, and the amplifying function, the second transistor, as opposed to resistor transistor logic RTL or diode transistor logic DTL. Now we'll see CMOS, means complementary metal oxide semiconductor. It is also known as complementary symmetry metal oxide semiconductor, is a type of metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor fabrication process that uses complementary and symmetrical pairs of p-type and n-type for logic functions. CMOS technology is used for constructing integrated circuit IC chips, including microprocessors, microcontrollers, memory chips, and other digital logic circuits, and replace earlier transistor logic technology. CMOS technology is also used for analog circuits such as image sensors and data converters. Now we'll see the comparison between TTL and CMOS. And we have some parameters. First is basic gate. In TTL it is NAND gate and in CMOS it is inverter gate. Then circuit. In TTL it is transistor and in CMOS it is complementary MOS. Then speed of operation. It is more in TTL and less in CMOS. Propagation delay per gate. In TTL, it is 4 to 12 nanosecond and in CMOS, it is 50 nanosecond. Then normal supply voltage. In TTL, it is 5 voltage and in CMOS, it is 3 to 15 voltage. Wide collector capability. In TTL, it goes with passive pull-up and in CMOS, it goes with tri-state output. Then fan out. It is 10 in TTL and same as CMOS. It is also F10. Then noise immunity. It is good in TTL and it is very good to excellent in CMOS. And the last is available function. It is high in TTL and in CMOS it is very high. So this was the comparison between TTL and CMOS. Thank you.